Good evening. I'm Jourtective Rob Sadri. That's right, journalist detective Rob Sadri. Tonight, join me as we go underground into the underbelly of the subculture, the counterculture of storytelling. You might have heard it on the news. Kids getting exposed to stories, adults getting exposed to stories. Stories are filling our streets, our schools, our politics, our sports, it's going into the depths of our family. And it's impacting everybody in a different way, isn't it? So that's why we decided to go undercover and speak with one of the shakers and movers of this new movement. He's asked us to hide his identity, as I believe it is crucial that he remains anonymous. That's why he's asked us to use his nickname. He goes by the name of So-So. He's asked to be pixelated, of course, but nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, join me tonight as we go underground. We're on level playing ground, but nonetheless, we're gonna be, going in and digging deep and finding out what these punks are all about. I'm sick and tired of these punks. I can't call them punks. What do you mean? I said I'm not used to doing interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be epic. I'm taking storytelling by the horns, and I'm not listening to any of the producers behind me or in front of me for that matter. We're gonna do this my way or I said, John, we're gonna do this my way or I swear to God. Ladies and gentlemen, this is groundbreaking. Join me tonight as we go undercover again and dig deep and find out what this storytelling's all about. Jourtective Rob Sadri, reporting live from Toronto.
I'm pixelated, right? And you guys changed my voice? Good. I go by the nickname So-So. I've been telling stories for, gosh, I can't even remember when I wasn't telling stories. Where did it all begin? My grandma used to tell stories. My grandpa used to tell stories. My mom and dad used to tell stories, so I was always, you could say I was born in stories. I looked around and there was really nothing else but stories, so as a young man I just naturally gravitated towards stories. One day I came home visiting my grandparents and I just noticed a whole bunch of stories laying on the table. My grandpa was a little bit disoriented. My grandma was a little bit also disoriented, and that's the life I knew. That was normal for her. I didn't know any. It occurred to me that I might not be leading the normal life, maybe in my late teens, but in my formative years, if you would have asked me, I would have thought that, most children are dealing with stories, being exposed to stories, telling stories of their own. I never thought I was any different until again later on in my late teenage years. I'd be telling stories in the classroom. I'd be telling stories late at night. Street corners, I'd just be telling stories, hanging out with the big boys. I remember coming back home late at night, and my mom would be like, "Where were you? What were you doing? I smell stories on your breath." And I love my mom. I love my mom, and I couldn't lie to her. She smelled the stories, and I told her, "Mom, I've been telling stories for some time now, and she said, should I be concerned? And to be honest with you, I wouldn't recommend storytelling, but for me it was just a natural instinct. For me it was, some kids pick the skateboard, some pick boxing, some pick ballet, some pick drugs, some pick all sorts of things. I picked storytelling, a little bit of drugs too, but the point is that I didn't even realize I was doing it for the longest time until, I started getting into a little bit of trouble here and there, after hour storytelling, unsolicited storytelling, you name it, I was telling it. We were telling short stories, long stories, funny stories, sad stories, and we priced it out. We had, we had a nice, I can't go into the details, and again, I hope that you guys pixelate this and cover my voice so that I can't be identified for my safety, because if word gets out that I'm talking about stories, well, I don't know how long I'd have left on the streets. But all I want to say from this is that I've come out stronger. I've come out, I feel like I've overcome some challenges. And sure, getting exposed to stories at such a young age, you're like, man, is that good for a person? I don't know. I honestly don't know what to tell you. But here we are. Here we are. I'd sell stories for, we had dime bag stories, we had, you could come buy a brick of stories, you could buy stories in ounces, we had it all. And it was lucrative for a while. And it wasn't even more about it wasn't about the money, I'll tell you this. It was the rush of the storytelling. That's what got me hooked, and that's why I'm hooked till today. And I don't know if I'll ever quit. I just want to say to anybody out there who's struggling with stories, you're not alone, and there are ways you can get help, but I know that by telling stories we can entertain ourselves and each other. So that's my 2 cents on it. This is getting me really emotional. Nobody's really asked me these questions before, to be honest with you. I don't know if I can keep recording. Can you stop recording, please? Can you stop recording, please? I'm asking you nicely, can you please stop recording? I can't do this anymore.